gentlemen, please welcome Geoff Norcott.
Thank you, Southend. What a lovely welcome. How the fuck are you? This is how I choose to dress for my tour shows, by the way. This is my aesthetic. Looking like a right-wing electrician. That's what I look like. I look like an electrician. If I just come out here, fixed a light and fucked off, no one would think anything was weird. But... Got a couple of people arriving. You all right? Yeah, not bad. Proper fucking Southend bloke there. Yeah, not bad. Yeah, not bad. Just as... what, you just had a bit of dinner? You went to the wrong place. You went to the Cliffs Pavilion. Who was on? Anyone good? Who? Alan Brazil. Didn't even know he did comedy. What, the guy off Talk Sport? All right, Alan Brazil, I tell you what, for me, that's always a penalty. He is a comedy. That's not grammatically scanning, but well done. It's good. The comedy tonight is going to be, well, it's like a picnic. We've all bought our own stuff. We went to Cliffs Pavilion. I mean, you say that sort of... There was a guy waiting outside, genuinely. He was sat in a chair, and I got there, and he said, "Oh, I'm a big fan. Can you sign this?" And he gave me a photo of Chris McCausland. I don't know if you know Chris McCausland is a guy that can't see, right? Brilliant comic. He's done What I Lie to You, absolutely. I mean, if you get a chance to see him on tour, see him. I thought, is this some sort of fucked up joke here, mate? That you're doing? I was looking for cameras. He was here last night. Did you come for that gig as well? Is this like a whole year of just turning up at the wrong thing? Oh, it's nice. It's nice to be out. Let's do some stereotypes about women. Okay, let's do that. Yeah. Let's do some stereotypes about women. I should be clear that these aren't lazy old stereotypes. These are lazy new ones. I've been working very hard on them. And for my more sort of woke, progressive friends I should say that clearly, obviously, right, there are multiple genders, clearly. But tonight, for old time's sake and for simplicity, let's just say there are two. Let's just, some crazy old, just call it a throwback night. Mad ideas, fucking mad. This is what it takes to be edgy in 2022. Like, did you see what that comedian said up there? He said they're only men and women. It's off his head. You get cancelled with talk like that. Look, we always knew masculinity and femininity were a spectrum that not everybody fitted in exactly. We all had our place within that spectrum, right? Like your Uncle John that collected porcelain dolls. We all knew John was different in his own way, but we loved him all the same. A very special man. Your Auntie Pat that smoked a pipe. Pat was her own woman. Strong woman. Vicious hunter. Right? And, new debates come around and challenge things. We shouldn't be averse to that, right? With the whole trans thing. I always love the intake of air in the room, just meant oh, fuck. With the whole trans thing, it's like sometimes society, it moves on. It moves on, and we have to go ahead round new ideas and stuff like that. But some of those ideas are fucking challenging, There's new words that people don't understand. If you're not on Twitter every day, you won't always know the new words, like cisgender. It's just new words, cisgender. And your uncle, like your Larry uncle, go, what the fuck's all this cisgender bollocks? You go, well, seeing as you're in such an open-minded mood, I'll explain. Cisgender, look, it's very simple. It's basically a bloke that's born a bloke, lives his life as a bloke, and basically stays a bloke. He's like, so a bloke then? You're like... If you're going to be pedantic about it, yes, I guess it is. I think as men, we have become a bit shit, though. My generation in particular. We sort of forgot the stuff that we were good at, stuff that our dads were good at. I'll tell you a very sobering fact that I found out recently in terms of men's practicality and our ability to build and fix stuff. So I found out recently that car manufacturers routinely no longer put spare wheels in the boot of a car. What a slap in the face that is for my generation of men. Basically, they've looked at us and gone, nah. Not for you, boys, though. Why don't you sit on the grass verge and wait for a real man to come and sort it out? How about that? Oh, bless. Yeah. Why don't you write another poem or focus on your anxieties for a change? This woman is so on her phone. Is everything all right, love? Have you got the phone addiction? Have you got the bug? Did it start during lockdown? You just can't not touch it. What's going on? Is it TikTok?
No.
What? Well, this is the moment where often if you ask me, they go, actually, I was just checking with the babysitter. Like, yeah, what the fuck, yeah. Just looking at magicmike.com. I'm not mocking depression, okay? Oh no, I didn't mean that in relation to her. Just put your fucking phone down! Just for 40 minutes! I don't like, I said that stuff about anxiety. You've got to take depression seriously because, we don't talk enough about depression. Here's a thing people say. I don't know, man. Everyone I know talks about depression all the fucking time, right? No, it's very taboo. Is it? I'd argue maybe we need to shut the fuck up about depression. Because we talk about it all the time and no one's getting any happier, all right? I'm just saying, my granddad, right, he went to the Second World War, he came back, and did he moan about it? No. He had PTSD and he became a lifelong alcoholic, and I respect that. I do respect that. Just got on with it, My nan smoked 80 a day. I mean, they talk about medication. Your grandparents, they had medication too. It was just fun, right? No one's ever had a top night out on the citalopram, have they? These are these things now, these cliches that you hear on the cultural left. It's they always say we need a conversation about stuff. We've got to have a conversation about grief, Geoff. All right, go on then. But they never actually say anything. They just say, we've got to have a conversation about grief. I'm like, well, do it then. But they never talk. I'll talk about grief. I've had my fair share. I'll talk about the 5 stages of grief. Shock, denial, bargaining, anger, and acceptance. I'd actually argue the first stage isn't shock, it's admin. Isn't it? What a depressing moment that is when you realise, I'll do paperwork. Yeah, paperwork, that's the next stage of grief. Second stage isn't denial, it's event management. Because you have to organise a party. It's a real handbrake turn, isn't it? Like, can't believe he's gone, but I can't believe the price of these vegan platters. Why? Surely we should be paying less for stuff with chickpeas in. And it's hard with grief, like the process when you've got someone that, is on the long way out and you're up and down the hospital with a family, and you're bonding, you're having serious moments, and you're having conversations with loved ones that you haven't had for a long time and maybe needed to have, and it can make you feel close. There's a real spirituality about it. You'll be sitting in that room together for very long periods. Very long. So long, man. Fuck me. You see, he goes, boring, isn't it? Like, do you know what I mean? Fucking, maybe you should do a pillow over the face. Hey, pillow over the... What? It's a joke! I'm just joking! Look, she's asleep. It's probably the best time to do it. That's it. What? Oh, fucking hell, you lot. I'm just trying to lighten the mood. 6 weeks ago, the doctor said 1 week, I booked a holiday. Is anyone going to think about me? What, is he atoll protected? I don't think he is. This is my problem, with, like I said, with the cultural leftists, they have a way of talking about stuff that I just don't buy sometimes. When they talk about things like alcoholism, they never actually hold the individual responsible, So, alcoholism is a disease. Is it? For a disease, you have quite a lot of good nights out in the first couple of years. You have to say the incubation period's fun. I don't know that many diseases that taste so good with fish or make weddings bearable. They just no one takes ownership. You get your fancy mate who will say that instead of just being a pisshead, be like, no, I was self-medicating, Geoff. I think you got the dosage wrong, mate, because you pissed yourself at a christening. You don't want to get down your pharmacist at the Horse and Groom, have a little... tweak the recipe, There's just a lot of things get called addictions now that aren't, right? Sex addiction. Does anybody genuinely think that is a valid form of addiction? It's not. is you get a Hollywood Lothario, right? He hits a certain age, he gets worried about the old Me Too, and then he comes out and goes, oh, by the way, just so everyone knows, I've suffered with a terrible addiction. You're like, terrible, was it? Terrible? I think some of it was probably quite gratifying. No, I have wrestled with this thing for many years. I think everyone wrestled with your thing, mate. I think that's why your lawyer's shitting himself. Sex addiction, it's not a real thing. And I'll show you, to have a stress test of this idea, sleep with your sister-in-law, right? Sleep with your sister-in-law, and when your wife catches you, go, babe, this is an illness. It's an illness. I'm an addict. And the one thing an addict should never do is go straight cold turkey. So I am going to finish up here. See you in the kitchen. Try that idea. See if you have a penis the following day. See. That's the thing, is, I've got no doubt that the Labour Party could eventually get some sort of offer together that was passable, but it doesn't change the fact that the sort of cultural side of the left, it still doesn't make sense to me. But having said that, the Conservatives, wow, what's an incredible journey they've been on, It was almost like that 2019 general election victory. They viewed it as some sort of Brewster's Millions style challenge. Right, 80 seats, you've got to lose them all in 5 years. And people saying, they've shot themselves in the foot. I don't think that metaphor goes far enough. I think they've been machine gunning their own fucking legs off on a daily basis. And Boris, the thing that he could always rely on, the charm after Partygate, doesn't seem as charming, And gives it the old... No, Boris, no. Not falling. That again. He's like, what? What? All right, do one more. So, babe, look at his little face. They're in a pickle, right? They're in a pickle, the Tories. Because Sunak was going to be the natural successor, wasn't it? I still think it should be him, but only to get in Labour's face because of diversity. Because that would be funny, wouldn't it? British Asian, it comes from the Tory party. I'll be like, ha-ha! In your face, Labour. That should be your thing. Look at this. Look what's happening over here, eh? Now, a British Asian, if I had 2 women as a British Asian, that's 3-0. That's 3-0. What are you going to do? Huh? Yeah, we'll get Ruth Davison out of retirement. She's a lesbian. They count double. We're up to 5-0. 5-0. In your face, Labour. Probably Liz Truss now. Good. But Boris, he still is up against Keir Starmer. And, if Boris is, too frivolous, Starmer's the opposite, isn't it? Prime Minister, we should look at It's not the most grown-up satire I've ever done, I'll be honest. I think the point stands. Keir, he just doesn't quite... There's something not there, isn't there, Keir seems like the first bloke that your mum would date after divorce, that steady the shit bloke. Where you're a family do and everyone's going, he's a bit of a melt, isn't he? You're like, yeah, but he treats her well, Let's just get behind the relationship while she rebuilds her self-esteem, you know what I mean? And obviously they're trying to stress that he has got working class credentials, right? But he just doesn't. He's called Sir Keir. He just looks like he looks like one of Jeremy's mates. No offence to him. Well, some offence, but Keir. And they try and stress, don't they, Jez? They say, Keir's dad was he made tools. But the only thing that Keir looks like he makes is pasta from scratch. And he's quite good. I'll give him his due, right? In Partygate, when he was up on his feet and he was cross-examining Boris, that was his skill set, right? That's what he used to do. He was excellent at that. But something happens every time that he has to speak to a camera, right? He gets the fear in his eyes. I call it the Keir fear. It's just... whatever he's talking about, it looks like he's doing so under duress from Islamic State, I should say we fully support this spur road on the M5. And my captors are treating me well. Inshallah. He's got a challenge on his hand, though, isn't it? Because there's a section of the Labour Party that even him having a Union Jack in shot, when he does a video, they don't like it. Like, it's racist. You know, it's racist. Being patriotic is racist. They don't like the Union Jack. Even more so when it comes to the St George's Cross, right? Every fucking St George's Day, we had it recently. You'll have one lefty mate that does the same thing, don't they? They always want to tell you, I don't know if you know, Geoff, with the whole St George's thing, it's kind of weird, but actually, St George, he actually came from Turkey. You know, where did the dragon come from? Yeah, because you know, the moment I hear the word dragon, I'm thinking there might be some degree of mythical bollockry in and amongst this. Oh, he wasn't from Telford. And that's the problem with the left. I think I'll have my lefty friends in tonight, is we're at a point where everyone's been told off by people on the left, you know. It's kind of like, they're the most likely ones to censor you. You know, we've had cancel culture. I don't know if you saw, there was a lad, a footballer called Mark Bowler, that plays for Middlesbrough, right? And he got done for a tweet that he said at the age of 14, right? Oh, for fucking hell, 14? That's no age at which to judge a person's character, especially a 14-year-old boy. Fuck me. It's not the most sentient age of man, is it? Spending most of your life walking around in a cloud of Lynx Africa, you know, trying to wank yourself into a different dimension every day, you know. I wouldn't want to be judged at stuff I'd said at 14 or 21 or on the last tour. But the cancel culture, though, it's become so prevalent, right, that if you remade Back to the Future, it'd be about a bloke going back 8 years to delete his Twitter, wouldn't it? It's your tweets, Marty! That was a dodgy film when you think about it. You talk about cancelling stuff. Middle-aged reclusive scientist knocking about with a teenage boy. I bet there's a deleted scene where his parents quizzed him. Where you been, Marty? I was with the doc! I was with the doc, but he said I can't tell you what we were doing. It's a secret, Mom! It's a secret. He said if I tell you, it will rip the space-time continuum. Oh, well, he's a creative nonce, I'll give him that. I'm telling you, you're a weird audience. Applause for creative nonce, just so you know. That's you, that's who you are. But the cancel culture, they realise that cancel culture is unpopular, right? So they try and dress it up now and say, no, it's not cancel culture, Geoff, it's consequences. That's what it is, it's consequences. Just consequences, Geoff. That's all it is. And they keep saying it to the point where it sounds like a kind of menacing threat from an East End gangster. It's just consequences, Geoffrey, that's all it is. Don't worry about that. Just the old consequence, isn't it? You might want to say that trans women shouldn't compete in weightlifting. Maybe one of those dumbbells falls on your fucking head. You know what I mean? It's a consequence, isn't it? Accidents happen, know what I mean? We just get patronised now. Do you remember when you used to think being treated like an adult would be a good thing? And now, everywhere you look, there's people trying to moderate your behaviour. Trigger warnings. You see all these trigger warnings, right? In front of everything now. Yeah. This film contains scenes of drugs, violence, and an intense sexual nature. You know, that's why I'm watching it. Get out of the way, you nerd. And not all of them even make sense. They don't even make sense. There's one on Star Wars at the moment that says contains tobacco depictions. Like, they also blow up a planet. A whole planet. Why do the people of Alderaan not matter to our cultural overlords on the left? Why is it a blind spot? Is it like anti-Semitism or something? Is that the sci-fi equivalent? But then, you know, what am I called now? A gammon, right? I go down this way of thinking. I do get in that mood sometimes. I can't say anything no more. I get in that mood. And then I got annoyed the other day and I was saying to my son, he watches a lot of these animated films. I was saying, you watch too much of this shit. You know what you want to watch, son? Good, fun, live-action film from the 80s. Good family film from the 80s. Absolutely no issues in those whatsoever. Let's stick one on. The Goonies. How about it? The Goonies. There you go. Yeah, there it is. See, look, contains outdated attitudes. Fuck that, you're 6, you're ready to see it. There you go. Look, it's just a bunch of kids, that's all it is. They're running around in the fresh air. It's a good thing. They've all got nicknames, yeah? Yeah, the fat one is called Chunk. The fat one, he's a big lad. He is a big lad. And they make him do a dance, son, to get it out, to make him do this thing called the truffle shuffle. Yeah, it's not kind, you're right. It's absolutely not kind. But look, a bit of diversity. They've got the Japanese lad in. Yeah? Yeah, he does love a gadget. All right, look. The Italian family, Mama Fratelli, the 2 sons, very fun. Ah, there was a 3rd son, wasn't there? Oh, fuck, yeah. Yeah, he was a bit deformed and they kept him in the cellar. Shall we watch Moana? Shall we... Everyone gets told off now, you know? Actors who want to play the part from a community that they're not exactly from. Happened to Halle Berry, didn't it? She wanted to play the part of a trans man and she got absolutely monstered for it. And because she's from Hollywood, right, and because she's a lovey, she had to act like she was fine with losing the work. You know, I just want to say thank you to the online community. Thank you for the education. Thank you so much. Thank you for educating me. It was a real honour to trend for 3 days with the words, die Halle Berry, turf bitch, die. I would wager she wasn't quite so conciliatory back in her house. Do you know what I mean? A couple of Zinfandels in, I bet she was kicking off. That's called full fucking acting, you muppets. It's all about pretending to be someone you ain't. Jesus Christ. What do you think Harrison Ford gives a shit about archaeology? Yeah? Little trade secret, Daniel Radcliffe shit at magic. Absolutely. He can't even do the thing with the thumb. What, do you think everyone in the Crown should be inbred or a paedophile? Harry's definitely not inbred, I'll say that much. Is that controversial after all these years? I'll tell you, I get wound up sometimes about censorship. I was saying to my wife, I don't know if you heard there was a policy a couple of years ago called the porn pass. Do you ever? Neil? You ever? Neil's getting excited there. It's not as good as it sounds, mate. It sounds like one of those BT Sport weekend passes, doesn't it? 22 live porns a weekend. Basically, it was the government, right? The government, the plan was that you had to apply to the government to watch porn. Incredible idea that was. Yeah. Hey government, just emailing you. This is Geoff here. Just wanted to let you know I plan to carry on being a disgusting pervert. I plan to carry on being dirty as fuck. I just want to check that is all right with you, the government. The government, yeah, Geoff, sorry for not getting back quicker. We've been through your stuff, all fine. I mean, some of it's a bit dark, but it's all legal. You crack on, son. But then my wife, she said to me, Geoff, you've got a 6-year-old son, okay? He's growing up in this world where a lot of young men, they're getting their whole idea of sex from the internet, right? And it's forming their expectations of sex. I was like, that's a very good point, right? And I was leaving for work, and she was watching one of these dramas, right? One of these Netflix-type glossy dramas. And they had one of those sex scenes in it. I don't know if you've seen these sex scenes, but they're a certain type. Firstly, they're way too athletic, right? It always starts for some reason with the bloke lifting the woman up. I don't know when that became a thing, right? Like suddenly he's got to prove his worth with a swift, clean and jerk. Like, hoiks her up, right? But then the flash bastard, he's on the move. He's on the move. Neil, can you imagine the pressure that would put on the knees, mate? We'd be having to rub Voltarol on it, wouldn't we? Ibugel on the other side. And then the flash prick, they seem to always put the woman down on a work surface. I don't know what it is with the modern woman that they find the work surface so erotic. Maybe it's the fact that he clears it with one reckless sweep of his arms. Or maybe that's the first time she's seen him help around the house. But that, evidently, the ladies love it. And they have the kind of sex that most people wouldn't have. On a simple level, they maintain eye contact. That is very weird. If you haven't agreed it up front, very weird. For more than 2 or 3 seconds, you do that. Give it some of that. It'll freak you both the fuck out. You go, whoa, sorry, babe. Yeah, sorry, I don't know what happened there. I'll go back to my usual thing. Just bouncing. I don't even know what I'm looking at. I've been looking at the cupboard for a while. I didn't even know. I'll just look at there. Oh, I've just made eye contact with a photo of your granddad. That's weird. That's weird. I swear to God, if I stared at my wife long enough, she'd spark up a conversation. Absolutely no doubt about it. No, but I don't want to talk about who picks up who from karate at this point. Some strange things that you learn about sex over the years, like the female orgasm. This is one thing I've learned about women. I know that being a woman is apparently genetically harder, childbirth, whatever. But apparently, I guess I'll never know, right? maybe not. But there are a few kickbacks on there from nature, and here's a very big one. The female orgasm is a lot better than the male orgasm, a lot better. And I've seen 7 now, I've seen 7, including films. And when you see one, you're like, well, that is way better than mine. Look at her. She's having a lovely time. Because it goes on for a while, don't they? They actually look good. Women look good while they're having an orgasm. Whereas the male orgasm, you spend a lot of your life wanting it to happen, and yet when it does, you don't look like you're having fun. Let's just be honest, you look like you've been tasered, don't you? What is that? What is that? Women have to look at that. It's incredible that they ever want to have sex again. And even after sex, even when it's gone well, it's clear after who's got more out of it, if it's gone well. She's fucking glowing, isn't she? She's glowing, she's lying there, she's doing weird things like she's got the moisturiser out, she's moisturising her forearms. She's never done that before, but she's like, yeah, I want to feel good about myself. She's lying there like some sort of mermaid of the duvet. And you're just feeling this weird sense of shame you can't explain. But you know, relationships... I think I might tell her to get back on her phone in a minute. I don't know if laughter is now becoming some sort of... Does she laugh when she... Can't say that anymore. You know, I don't know where to go with this. This now feels like a sexual encounter where I'm like, really want to get in the taxi. I'm like, I don't know how to broach the subject where you probably want to sleep in your own bed on me. You know, and I mentioned Harry earlier. You know one thing with Meghan and Harry, right? That I took issue with Meghan and Harry was remember it was about a year ago they were going, well, everyone's reaction to them as a couple is racist. I was like, no, I think the British public, I think that's harsh on the British public. At the beginning of that relationship, we were behind it mostly, weren't we? Like, poor Harry, he's had a tough life. He's met a beautiful looking girl, good for him. Their wedding day was one of the funniest things I've ever seen. You know? When that preacher spoke for 16 hours. And Prince Philip tried to kill him with his eyes. Brilliant day. Brilliant day. But then, after that, something changed. You know, bit by bit, they started to annoy the fuck out of me. I don't sort of just creeped up, didn't it? It just was like, oh, these two are really obnoxious now, isn't it? You know what they were like? They were like that couple. You know when you meet a couple on holiday for the first 2 days, you think you're going to be great mates. You're like, you two, fucking, it's like, oh, we're going to have such a laugh together, right? 5 days into the holiday, you're hiding behind a bin in the hotel lobby, like, oh, fuck. Oh, shit, baby, it's Tina and Craig from Derby. Make out you've dropped a Solero or something. That's always, they're always from Derby. But, you know, a lot of people say, well, is she manipulating him? That's a sexist trope, Geoff. You can't just say that about a woman, just because she's way better looking than him. She is. Like, I mean, let's be honest. Like, let's put numbers on it. She's a 9, he's a 6, okay? And don't feel bad for Harry. That's a strong number. For a ginger, that's a strong number. Historically speaking, it's all right. But what that means is that when he's having sex with her, his chromosomes don't even understand what's happening. Imagine what his dick is saying to him, like, fucking hell, Harry! How have we done this? You do whatever she says, man. Do whatever she says. Move to fucking Canada. Leave the royal family. Tell your nan to fuck off. Do it. We shouldn't even be here, man. We shouldn't even be here. What a man will do for love, you know. I know women do it too, but men, I think Harry does love her. I do. I think it's the first time he's been properly in love, but that can be dangerous, you know. It's like when your first time. Do you remember, Jez, when you lost? Oh, probably a bad example. I was going to say when you lost a mate from the friendship group. That was the other fella, you know. But it happens, doesn't it, Jez? Do you remember that? You had a group of mates. And then you had a man down because one of the lads got loved up and you're seeing less and less of him, you know. And then one day he does come down the pub and it's a tragic, tragic moment is that it's clear that he's been comprehensively restyled by his new missus. What a sad day that is. He walks in, he's wearing white chinos, overly complicated hairstyle for a man, black turtleneck, worst of all the black turtleneck. No man makes that choice independently, it has to be said. And sadly, he walks in and he knows, you can see it in his eyes, he's got this intrepid look on his face, like he knows he's let himself down. Walks into the pub, waiting for the first insult, and it comes, someone mentions Milk Tray Man, and that's it. He's out of there, because he loves her. He's like, fuck all of you, so Alison is a great woman. In fact, you know what, we've got an early start tomorrow, so I'm going back there. Yeah, we're going on a spa day, which I definitely want to attend. I don't know, look, your man will never say it to you. Ladies, don't ever go on a spa day with a man. We don't know how to act. We're not as well versed in being pampered. It's a weird experience. You get there. Women love all that, just lie back, let somebody... No, we don't know the grammar of this thing. You arrive at a reception and they give you this giant dressing gown, the biggest dressing gown you've ever seen in life. It's about 3 stories high. They go, here you go, here's some weird slippers there. And you go and put those on. You go, what? And then I go straight into the treatment room. They're like, no, come back and sit in the reception. Dressed like that? Yeah. And you act like you're all right with it as well. The wind flapping around your bollocks. Just got to sip cucumber water like you know how to do it. Read a broadsheet newspaper, that's what... Oh, fuck. I just feel like a millionaire waiting for an x-ray. But that's what you realise. You become like your parents on both sides. Like my old man, I've realised that my old man, he's a solid man, Yeah, my dad, he just, look, he knew what was important in life, right? And I remember I was living with him in the 90s. I went back to live with him. And he got to that point in life where he was getting up at stupid o'clock, like 4 a.m, And you know what men are like at that age? They have to visit that pain on the rest of the house. He's coming in to see me going, you going to stay in bed all day? Hey? You going to stay in bed all day? I was like, maybe till TVAM starts, you freak. And then one day he was up like super late, like 7:15, maybe even 7:30. And I was making tea, right? And he come downstairs looking all bedraggled. I went, all right, late night was it? Late night, Dad? He went, yeah. So what were you up to? He said, drove round the M25. I was like, all the way round. He went, yeah. Every single junction. It's always been a dream of mine. I was like, sorry, it's not fucking Disneyland, you weirdo. What? He said, it was an incredible experience, son, like a normal motorway, but you end up back in the same place. I can't imagine that would be... But that's what happens. You become like your parents. I bet it's like that in your relationship, Jez. How liberal or progressive a man thinks he is, you outsource your life to your missus because they're just better at it, right? It's not right, but it's what happens. There comes a point in a marriage where you just go, okay, me, Bins, you, birthday cards for all of my family and friends. All of them. Every single one. Me, Bins, you, cards. But here's the weird thing. You have to remind me about the bins. Yeah. I don't have to remind you about the cards. I know, right? Fucking patriarchy is disgusting. But it happens, man. It happens. I'm not saying it's right. It's probably not right. It happened recently, me and my missus, when we go and see my family and friends. Once we park up, that last 10 steps from the car to the front door is like some sort of weird presidential briefing. Do you have that in your life, right? You park up, I'm like the Joe Biden fucking just hanging on in there, My wife is the clued up advisor and she's got to make sure I don't drop us both in it. That's the game. She's like, okay, just so you know, the 16-year-old, the granddaughter, she's come out as a lesbian. Everyone's fine with it, apart from the granddad, so maybe don't bring it up. I'm like, I fucking wouldn't have brought it up if you hadn't mentioned it then. Anything else? She's like, yeah, Stuart, he didn't get made redundant, he's just shit at his job, but go along with it. I fucking was going along with it, because that's what I thought happened. They open the door, I'm like, lesbian, failure, it's her fault. Ladies and gentlemen, I know at the moment, you know what I mean, just the fact that you're coming out and you've come out to see my show, I really appreciate it. Obviously, I'll be back on the next tour. And look, thank you very much. Thank you, Southend. You've been a brilliant crowd. Thank you very much.